So, like, a few days ago, my views on one specific video, my asexual representation video, spiked. And right before it spiked, I had posted a poll onto my community tab that was like, hey, y'all want to hear about my messed up dreams? And since that video spiked, usually I get like 10, less than 10 votes on my community tab polls. This one has over 100. People really want to hear about my suffering, so that's what we're going to do today. I have lots of dreams, but I'm only going to tell you about 4. None of these are fun. None of these were happy dreams, because you guys don't want to hear about my happy dreams. That would be boring. No.
Because no one wants to hear about the great days in your life. They want to hear about the terrible things that have happened to you, you know? Those are the most interesting.
So we're talking about me dying and other people dying. I've had lots of messed up dreams. I'm just gonna talk about the 4 I remember most vividly, in order of when they happened. So we're gonna start with the Slenderman Dream. I was like 7, 8, I was small. I was like 6 or 7. I was 6 or 7 years old. Slenderman was like a thing. Looking back, it's not that scary, but like it scarred me so much when I was young, like small. So like I remember it in vivid detail, even though it's like not scary. Even at the time, Slenderman wasn't a thing that like scared me. Just like a dumb internet story, but for some reason my brain was like, haha, no. It was a very short dream. I mean, I don't know how long I was asleep for it, but like I fell asleep at like night and I woke up at night. It was night when I woke up again from this dream. So it really wasn't that long. I remember that I had this dream on St. Patrick's Day. I don't know why I remember that. The dream took place at a condo, and what is now my brother's room at the time was my room. So in the dream, I'm in that room, but like it's empty, like weirdly empty. Like it looks the same in the dream, but it's like the only thing in there is like a bed in the corner. If the window's over here, then I'm like on the ground, perpendicular, parallel to it, I don't know. So I'm just playing with some toy on the ground in a dream. I'm just like playing with a toy, and the light's on, but it goes out. Now this wasn't like a scary thing because again, there was like a window right here, so light was still coming into the room, but the light coming from the ceiling was off. At the time of this dream, I was like way too young to be changing out a light bulb, but in the dream, I grabbed the ladder and changed the light bulb because I tried flicking the thing a few times and it didn't work. So I come back with like a light bulb and everything, I change it out, and I go put everything away, and I try to flick on the light again, and it's still not working, and I'm like, that's a bit concerning. So like I am standing here by like the door, the door's over here, like the front door, and I'm like flicking the light switch, and I look into the corner near the closet door. I look into that corner and Slenderman's there. Like I just look at him and all of a sudden I get a close-up of his face. So I look at him, suddenly I'm like, he's like in my face. There's like colory glitchy effects, and then I wake up. That was good dream. That was good dream. Y'all might be thinking, that's not scary. And I'm like, I know it's not scary. I'm easing you into it. So this next one I'm going to talk about is like a Waffle House dream. It's not as fun as it sounds. So basically the plot of the dream is I'm in the car with my mom. And it's not my mom. Like you know how sometimes in dreams you'll like, someone will be there and you'll like, know it's that person, but it doesn't look like that person, but Dream U knows it to be that person. So we're like driving through this like sketchy desert road. We're like in the middle of nowhere. There's like this long road, just like desert on either side, and in the far distance you can kind of see trees, but like we were very far from that. It's like really dark outside. So we're driving through, and all of a sudden, on this sketchy middle of nowhere road, we see a Waffle House. And we're like hungry, because you know, we're in the middle of nowhere, we haven't eaten in a while, and we're like, this is fine. So we see this sketchy Waffle House. By the way, people were in it, but there were no other cars outside. Mom's like tells me what to get. I go inside to order by myself. It was more recent, so like I go into places sometimes, it's not weird. But like I go inside, I'm like, okay, and there's a few people in there. Again, no cars outside, but there's people in there. If I had to describe the layout, the way it was while I was in the Waffle House was like, what I was seeing was like a security camera from like the top corner of the store. There's 2 employees, there's like a group of 3 people ordering, and then in line is this sketchy guy. He was like tall, thin, wearing like a dark-ish gray like shirt, but it had like rips and stuff in it. It had like dark grayish hair. Short, dark grayish hair. He had like a beard, but it was like patchy and like short. He was really pale, like weirdly pale. And he's wearing like ripped skinny jeans. Something about the way he was like looking at everything was like, that man is on heroin. And in the dream, I get this really bad vibe. Like in real life, I would probably be a bit freaked out, but in the dream, I just had like this sinking, panicky feeling that's like, I'm about to die. So I'm so freaked out by this guy, and I have such this bad feeling that I just leave. I leave the place without ordering. I get in the car, and I'm like, Mom, we need to go now. We need to get out of here. And Mom's like, where's the food? I look up, and everyone else is still inside, but a man is like now outside of the Waffle House, like on the little sidewalk next to the Waffle House, and he's just staring dead at us. I'm like, Mom, we need to go. Mom, we need to go, Mom. While my mom's still like, wait, where's the food? Why don't you get the food? Mom, we need to go. Mom, we need to go, Mom. Man is standing here staring at us with crazy in his eyes, and he just bolts it towards us. Think like the scene from Get Out, where the guy is just like running. Man comes up to my window. Floors it, so we're like, the car is starting up and starting to like go, but he like manually, as the car is moving, manually pulls open the window on my side of the car. He manually opens the window, and like everyone's freaking out, and then I wake up, but I wake up with the knowledge that I died in the dream. I was killed by this man. I think strangled was the specific method. So yeah, this is not even the first dream where I die. Now time to talk about the chalk dream. This one was so weird. This was like very recent. Past few weeks, this was very recent. So in the dream, it takes place in like this British town. It's like a royal British town. It's weird. Like in the dream, there's like a royal castle. It's like a gated area. It's like a giant like circle, and like there's buildings all around. It's like at like opening, I guess, to the town. It's like this wall, and there's like an alleyway behind it, and it's like buildings on both sides with like a few gaping things that lead to just ocean. The entire thing is surrounded by ocean, and on one of the sides there's like a giant royal castle. It looks like a building, but like it's a castle. And on the other side there's another alleyway thing, but there's like a doorway in it, and there's like paths in and out. But the entire thing is like on an island surrounded by water, but it's like British. It's a really weird setting, but hopefully that made some sense. So the dream begins with like prologue. Prologue basically is that there's like, think Umbrella Academy, selected people, and they're all made of chalk. Like all these people, all these children look like normal people, but they're like made of chalk. They look and feel like normal people, but they're made of chalk. It's really weird. And I, in a dream, am one of these people. The log is that my mom breaks into this place, steals one, and we, like, run to this alleyway. And, like, it's really bad, but, like, we managed to get out of it. And as the cops are, like, giving up and walking away, this will be important, but it, like, pans to this, like, pile of, like, white on the ground. And it cuts to, like, 12 years later, and I'm, like, how I am now. We live in this like one room area that has like a couch, and on top of it is like a bed. So it's like a bed couch thing. There's blankets all over the room. There's like one like exiting room that's just a back room, and we're like hiding from cops constantly. I'm like, Mom, I want to go out into the real world. So my mom's like, you do realize we're, like, wanted, right? Maybe you don't go out into the world, but eventually I convince them. So I go. I'm out in this town now. There's no cops out, so it's fine for me to just kind of walk around freely, just as long as I'm careful. Make it to the other end of the place, and I go into that other alley I mentioned earlier, the one with the opening. And I meet this, like, old guy, like, shows me around. He's like, souvenirs, look at all these souvenirs that are in the ground. They're, like, baked into the ground under stone. I found one that I took. I like stole, but it didn't have any real plot relevance. I just had it. It's Fang from Sonic, but like how he looks in Sonic the Fighters. Like it was a plush, but it looked exactly like how he looked in Sonic Fighters. I'll like have a picture on screen. I take it and I go, and at this point there's like cops around. Like that was like a suspense levels of this, where I'm like, I blend in enough with common society, but also I don't want to get too close to like the authorities, because that would be really bad. Another important thing to note is, in the dream I was carrying around this like chalk stick. It was like, you know those chalk sticks that look like crayons? I was carrying one of those. It was white, and in the dream I could like respawn. So like if it ran out, I would just respawn like 2 feet away with a new chalk stick. I could also force myself to respawn. So if it was like running low or I needed to get out of a tight situation, I could just close my eyes and it would be fine. I'm walking around, and at this point it's like really hot out. And I don't think this happens in real life, but in the dream the chalk would melt. So the chalk stick starts melting. I'm walking around like, it's fine. I respawn, whatever, you know? I'm walking around, like, hiding under benches and stuff, and the cops are starting to catch on that something's up. So I have to be, like, more sneaky. If I just respawn, it'll be fine. So I sit, like, behind this bench where no one can really see me. I, like, lay down under this, like, shady bench, and I just, like, close my eyes, and I'm like, alright, I'll respawn now. 20 seconds go by, and I realize I'm not respawning. So again, in the dream, I noticed to mean that, oh, I can actually die now, since I apparently can't respawn anymore. So, like, I'm freaking out, because I'm like, I need to get back home and, like, grab a new chalk stick, or else I'm just gonna die. So I, like, start gunning it towards home. And I melt. I die. Remember how I said there was, like, a pile of white ash at the beginning of the dream? That was apparently some sort of foreshadowing or something, because in that exact same place, I die into a pile of white ash. Like, the plush is there, and I'm just like, have some fleeting thought as I'm dying. It's like, no one break this thing, I like it. It cuts to me, I'm like a new person, I'm Human Tyler. Chalk Tyler is dead, Human Tyler is okay. So Human Tyler has the same mother, but doesn't have any memories of Chalk Tyler. It's like weird dream logic, you know? So me, Human Tyler, goes back to the alleyway, and I open the door, and I see my mom sitting on the couch, smiling, you know, whatever. I look at the TV, and I see, like, video footage of my mom in, like, a government, like, chamber, strapped down to a chair, surrounded by, like, these British guards, and then they kill them. So then I look at my mom, who's sitting on the couch, and I realize in the dream, that's not my mom. Then it randomly cuts to like a month later. Remember how I said it was like a royal palace? So in the dream, it cuts to a month later. I'm working as a servant for the royal family. And what's important to note is there's like these 2 princesses. I think they also had a brother, but I was, at the time of this dream, I was like, and they shared a room. It was like this long pink room. There's like big windows on either side, but there's like a giant block in the middle that makes the whole room dark. There's like a younger princess and the older princess. The younger one is like my age, the older one is like 17, 18. So then there's like weirdly like sitcom, family, like humor going on, and I'm just like, okay, tonal whiplash from this dream. La da 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 da. The mother and the older sister go, and both doors are closed. So now it's just me and the younger princess in this room. So I sit on her bed because we're like friends, you know, we're like buddies in a dream. And she pulls out a briefcase, and she pulls out weed. So this younger princess, who's about my age, pulls out like a briefcase of weed and is like, wanna smoke some weed? It's like, kind of like, I am not okay with this. Like, just casual, just like, what?
So, wanna smoke again?
And I, in a dream, am like, panicking. Not because I have anything against weed. You do you, I don't care. But in the dream, I'm like, I just wanna, before I do anything, I wanna make sure it's high quality weed, because I know if you get it from sketchy people, it might have like other stuff in it, and I'm like, I wanna make sure it's good kush. I'm just like, is it what is in it? And she's like, reassures me that it's like, we're a royal family, we can afford good weed. Her mom doesn't know about this. Like, I had the knowledge that, like, this was a secret thing. Like, you're rich, so she can, like, afford good weed. It was such a weird thing. She's like, do you want it? And I'm like, okay. And as I inhale it, I wake up. So we went from Chalk Tyler's a fugitive to Chalk Tyler melts and dies to Human Tyler goes to Mom's, like, sketchy alleyway house, sees a video of Mom dying, and then realizes that creature on couch is not Mom. And then suddenly I'm, like, working as a servant in a royal palace. There's, like, weirdly family sitcom levels of comedy, and, like, we're smoking what? It was a very whiplash-inducing dream, but, like, I consider it a nightmare because the first, like, the majority of it, up until, like, the whole servant thing, was, like, horrifying because at first it was like, oh, bad, we're fugitives. Then it's like, oh, bad, I'm dying. And then it's like, oh, bad, that's not my mom. And then all of a sudden I'm smoking weed with a princess in a British palace. Here's the thing about the final one. The Slenderman one, it really isn't that scary. With the Waffle House one, it's like, jump scare, like, bad sinking feeling, but, like, it was just like a event. And then the Chalk one was just weird and kind of had like a happy-ish ending with like a sitcom stuff. This next one was just bad and depressing. So in a dream, it's like we're in space. Everybody in the universe is like floating in space. But like no one's wearing astronaut suits, but like everyone can breathe fine. But like everybody on Earth is in space. I'm with my dad and another person who I will not name. And all of a sudden, like, think like end of season 1 Umbrella Academy. Like, there's just like this wave of like bads and that's killing everybody. So right before it hits us, we're like at the very end of this. Dad and the other person teleport us into, think like a condo, but it's like a giant chunk of it's missing. So it's only really like my current bedroom, dining room, and like kitchen, and like part of living room. Like there's nothing in any of these rooms. Like the place empty. I think there was like food in like a cupboard, but there's like nothing aside from that. And it's like just the layout too. Like it's the same layout as the house, but like there's no paint or anything. It's just like everything's like this dark bluish white color. And in the dream, I like go into my bedroom, which again, like completely empty, and I just have like a full breakdown of like nothing I do from now on will matter because no one exists. Probably like if I were to go to college, like it wouldn't matter because like no one would exist to see it. Like anything I create, no one would really see it. That gave me an existential crisis for a few days. It was so bad. Yeah, those were my messed up dreams. If y'all want to hear about some of the ones I don't remember as well, let me know, because I have a lot of ones where I like half remember them. I know like a basic, I know what like a climax was, but I don't remember them in vivid detail. Goodbye.